Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're watching the replay, if you're watching it live, given that we're broadcasting in the free world, it might be good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is another exciting podcast of Tech Tuesdays. Thank you very much for joining. We have a great show for you today. What is Tech Tuesdays and who am I? Tech Tuesdays is a joint effort between the Owwll app and South Florida Tech Hub. If you have the Owwll app, thank you. If you don't have it, you've got time to download it now and configure your profile, because I'm going to be calling 1 to 2 people that are available in 30 minutes or so. So if you want to potentially have me call you, configure your profile real quick. So we'll be calling out. Who am I? I am Jeffry Ullman. You're one of your lovely and vivacious experts of the day. Cindy always laughs whenever I say that. I'm not sure if she's laughing.
It's a great adjective.
I don't know if she's laughing at the lovely or the vivacious, but we'll come back to that. I am Jeffry Ullman. I am Director of Membership, South Florida Tech Hub. If you are a member, thank you. Thank you, Michael, for being a member, by the way. If you're not a member, reach out to me on Owwll, and we can talk about membership. Speaking of Owwll, if you have not already downloaded the app and you download it, if you use the referral code of thank you, you'll get $10 to start as a thank you. I am on the Owwll app periodically. I go live, but I also have office hours Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. So got a couple of things I want to mention, and then we'll get started. So South Florida Tech Hub does a lot of events. We've got an exciting event coming up this Thursday. Serve and Network. It's a tennis event with the Miami Open. It's going to be this Thursday at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. So for all you tennis fans and technology fans, come on out. One of the other areas that South Florida Tech Hub focuses on is tech talent. So we have an annual event. We might do 2 this year, Tech Talent Fest, for students that are about to graduate, have graduated, or people in career transition. Nice way of saying if you're looking for a job. I've been there, by the way. A lot of reduction in workforces and commercial and, unfortunately, the federal government space. So come on out to Tech Talent Fest, and we'll have hiring companies. And you can network. And for those of you in academia, we have a lot of sessions on technology in higher ed. AI is a hot topic. So one of the topics is what's the appropriate use of AI in higher ed. That's always an interesting topic. Tech Talent Fest is Friday, April 11th. It's going to be at the Palm Beach State College campus in Boca Raton. If you don't know where that is, it's across the street from Florida Atlantic University. Very convenient. Couple other things. Emerge Americas. Big event. South Florida Tech Hub and Owwll will have booths at Emerge Americas. If you haven't met me in person, here's a chance to come meet me in person.
Autographs, please.
Yeah, I will be providing autographs
and selfie opportunities
and selfies.
Oh, there you go.
So come on out, see me and the rest of the team. Our booth at Emerge Americas is number 449. And Owwll will have a booth there. You can come out and see Jason. Maybe we'll get Steph to come as well. Are you going to be there, Steph? Oh, Steph will be there, live and in person. You rarely get to meet Steph behind the camera's producer. Get to meet Steph live and in person. Maybe she'll bring her cat, who was on Tech Tuesdays, by the way. Richie.
Happy pause.
Yeah, Richie, a re-guest appearance of Richie, maybe. The Owwll booth will be 239. Emerge is next week, the 27th and the 28th, Thursday and Friday, at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Great new facility. If you haven't been there since they remodeled it, they've done a great job. The last thing, one of the other areas that Tech Hub focuses on as one of our 4 core pillars is entrepreneurship and startups. And I'm happy to announce, sort of, because he did one last week, but a new event that Jason is doing with Owwll every Fridays called Funding Fridays. Jason's doing a podcast for startups in terms of acquiring additional funding. That's going to be every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's enough for me for now. Wow, that was a mouthful. I'm going
A
to have
lot cooking, a
yeah,
lot going on.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. Before I forget, and I just want to thank Michael for all you do in support of South Florida Tech Hub, all you do for the local community. So I don't want to forget that. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
We'll talk more about that. Cindy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then introduce Michael and
I
we'll go.
will. I'm going to be very brief because I want to get to Michael. I'm excited to have Michael Goldstein here. So I am Cindy Metzler. I own a marketing and public relations agency for, believe it or not, 25 years in
No way.
South Florida. Yes. Went off on my own during the dot-com debacle and do have a lot of tech clients. So very exciting in South Florida, but also all over. And I'm also co-organizer of TEDx Boca Raton. Been doing that for almost 10 years at the Boca Innovation Campus. October 4th is our event. I have to give a shout out. We are looking for partners and sponsors for that event. So reach out. You can reach out at tedxbocaraton.com and there's sponsor packages there. And then we just came off of an amazing event called $1 Million Message with our $1 Million community. And Jason and Owwll were there. And I want to give a shout out to our South Florida Tech Hub members who came out, for the Owwll partners who came out, and Media Components, Denis, my partner with that event.
Hey, Denis, if you're watching.
Hi, Denis. We have your empty seat here. But I'm excited to jump in with Michael and learn more about him. I know Michael and I know of Michael, but I can't wait to learn more and peel away all the layers of what he's doing in the South Florida community. So welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Happy to be here. So I'm Michael Goldstein. I'm president of Land Infotech. We're 16 years in business. So congratulations on yours. We are a full service IT company. We perform managed services, help desk services, and we are super involved in the community. Community is everything for us.
It's awesome. Yeah. So tell us about some of the clients that you have and some of the things you're doing in the community.
So, our clients are, anywhere from that 5 to 150. We have real estate. We do a lot of work in not-for-profit. My background is working in law firms. So we have a lot of law firms, and we really do cover the South Florida area. Cloud brings us to customers all over the place. We have some focused document management applications that we support in the Caribbean and South America. Microsoft Cloud has us with customers in all sizes all over the United States. So it's really been kind of fun for us. And technology is always changing.
Oh, it is. It is. Oh my gosh. And you must do a lot. I mean, it's neat because you're working with so many different types of clients. Tell us about some of your clients and success stories. I mean, you don't have to get into the nitty gritty, but
so obviously law firms, we have them in all different sizes.
Mhm.
We do work for a few large hotel chains that are there,
Wow.
and sometimes we're
Any
co-managed.
hotels or law firms out there that need help?
That's a big focus. And about 10 years ago, we had
There are a few hotels in South Florida. I
Yeah,
think.
just a few, right?
just a few. About 10 years ago, we developed a practice in helping not-for-profits. Microsoft helps contribute a bunch to the community, but most of these not-for-profits don't understand what they're entitled to. So we work a lot in the Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce, where I'm on the board of directors there. I run the Small Business Council. A board of director for the Greater Pompano Chamber, a trustee for Hollywood Chamber. So through those chambers, we
Wow, you are spread
Michael is a
thin.
busy guy.
Yes, he is.
We try to contribute wherever we could. Of course, a big help, South Florida Tech Hub. We donate a lot of time that's in there. You guys do such a great job in the community. So for our not-for-profits, we're looking to try to help them and get them off of those Gmail, Yahoo accounts and get them into a focused environment. We donate a lot of our time. We get them grants. We have a grant funding application that we're working on, using AI to help them go out there and do responses to RFPs. But, we really want to kind of leave the world in a better place than it was given to us.
I love that. That's wonderful. As a matter of fact, it's making me, a light bulb went off with our TEDx Boca Raton is a nonprofit. And obviously we work with a lot of tech clients, not clients, but speakers, right, for TEDx. So we'll have to have an offline conversation about that because we are all volunteers with TEDx and we need, potentially grants for hosting
Yeah.
those big events and
We'd
giving.
love to help you
Yeah.
help you out and find those. You know, AI has been one of those big focuses piece. I think I'll say from some of the gray hair, I've been in the industry a long time. And we haven't seen anything grow like this. We haven't seen such demand for these things. And we really haven't seen any standards, and everyone's definition of AI is totally different.
Mhm.
So for us, we do a lot of Microsoft Copilot. We have probably done so far this year 7 to 8 hands-on experiences where we'll show our customers, the world of AI. I actually hate PowerPoint. We go through some parts of PowerPoint, and then I tell everybody, you know what? I had enough of PowerPoint. I open up my email box and I give them the 4 warnings that I don't know what I'm going to see, and kind of show them AI in action, what we do and how I kind of live in it. We also have a platform that we bring to a lot of our clients called Hats AI, Hat with a Z. And it's a secure place for people to chat and go out there and, I mean, develop their prompts. But we all know that in the AI world, the difference between a good and a great prompter is probably 200 words that they put in.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't realize that in that AI world, it's like raising a child. Who am I? Where do I have to be? What do I do? And we have the ability to save those prompts and actually call them apps or workspaces. So for not-for-profits, our biggest demo is the ability to say, we build all of that information about you. We load in some files, and we have the ability to just take a grant request or a bid as a PDF, feed it into the engine, and it will read it and build a lot of the preamble. Because the hidden secret of a lot of these grants that you go out there is you have to give it back in its format.
Right,
So the
exactly.
AI
No, I've
engine,
been down that road
you know how
before.
it goes, and
Yeah.
that preamble, I'll call it.
And it's a lot of work, even for my company doing RFPs for bigger companies that want RFPs. It can take weeks.
So here we feed in all the documents. You're in your secure large language model. The front end is there. So on the chat portion of it, it's a secure place that as you load in your documents or scrape websites, employees can start building their prompts. And there's so many examples of applications that go out there. And we think this is a real game changer, not only for not-for-profits. We are about to sign up a large real estate customer that just wants to have a good database and query their leases. So we love doing these workshops because I leave a lot of time for questions, and every workshop I walk away with 2 or 3 things that people have said to me, well, I didn't think.
Right.
And it's such a great topic to be able to go out there. And we really want to tell the customers usually start off and show me, what can you do for me today? And I usually kind of give that response back of, it's not what we could do for you. You know your company best. Tell us what you're doing today, and we'll see how we can help you automate it.
I love it. Yeah. And the cool thing about it is with AI, the more you put in, the more intelligent it gets, right? So then it's like less work the longer you do it.
The uniqueness about this large language model application that we use is that your prompts could come back and it links to 7 to 10 of the biggest engines. So you could say, I want to see what chat tells me. I could see what chat tells me in ChatGPT, I'll say in 3.5, 3.5, 4.0, 4.5, or you could flip over to Gemini. So, the other example we use is small companies don't necessarily have marketing teams. They're reposting on LinkedIn. They don't.
Your AI agent is their marketing team right now.
So this AI agent we've built is it'll ask you some questions. You build in the back end your favorite websites, and it starts generating that. But when I see what it generates in ChatGPT, I flip it over to Gemini, and now I feel like I'm a millennial because it puts emojis in. So you could actually see that the languages that are built in, and we haven't seen anything like this. So it's kind of cool for us. One of our other, great relationships is we're the CyberFit provider for the Florida Panthers Hockey Club.
Wow.
So we, you guys out there that watch Florida Panthers hockey on scripts, we show up on the hockey boards that are out there. We have, 2 minutes of ice time where our logo's in there. But, we've gotten involved. This is our 3rd year. So yes, we've been to 2 Stanley Cups. I will say that
Wow. How cool is that?
That is crazy. I have been a season ticket holder since 1996.
Amazing.
So being that, I think last year I went to 47 games. My family is into it. It's, the coolest thing. And I will say, peak of anything, and I don't think it can get better than this, but, we had some personal time with the Stanley Cup. And as you look at it, most sports trophies, there are multiple replicas. You see the Heat trophy, you see the World Series trophies for the Marlins. It's not the trophy. There's one Stanley Cup.
Wow.
And as you're looking,
who knew? Breaking news.
there you go. There's
You
one
heard it here
Stanley Cup.
first. There's only one physical don't break it, by the way.
It's-
Stanley Cup.
It's true. And as you start looking around the ribbons and all the names that are there, you're old when you say, man, I remember when those guys did.
That's awesome. I would love to know, Michael, and I don't want to dominate Jeffrey. So
All good
jump in.
questions. Cindy, that's why we have you, because you ask good questions.
I would love to know your backstory, because as a PR agency owner, we always talk about storytelling, and that's what people want to know. Like, how did you get where you are? Where did you come from? Tell us, like, what inspired you? Who inspired you?
So I will say that I remember applying to different colleges. And as I grew up in New York City, I went to school at
Surprise, surprise. We've got some New Yorkers here, including myself.
I went to SUNY at Stony Brook. But, as a high school graduation present, I remember my dad said to me, I want to buy you something special. Now I'll age myself. And my dad was going to buy me this Timex computer, he called it.
I remember those.
It really was a souped up calculator. And I remember getting, a Commodore VIC-20. And as I went through school, in the time
That was foundational for you.
Very foundational. I learned to program in college. I came out and I did some work in New York Life Insurance. Was a mainframe programmer. PCs came out. It was just the time, and I just lived it. And I feel the same excitement today that when I started. I worked for a couple of large top 10 law firms over time, building networks, being their in-house IT. Eventually, I went to work what we would call today in the field a value-added reseller in Jericho, Long Island. We built that company from 3 people out to 65 over a 20-year period, 5 cities. And eventually, I picked up a couple of law firm customers that were in South Florida. And I was living in Forest Hills, Queens. I would commute down to Florida. I'd live in the Intercontinental, for those of you that know downtown Miami. And I missed a few snowstorms. My wife wasn't a happy camper. And, eventually I flew her down. We moved down here late 1995.
And she was like, what am I doing here in these snowstorms while you're in sunny Florida?
First trip down, we're like, this is where we want to go. So eventually I had separated from my business partner, and we were another land company at that time, but I changed my philosophy 16 years ago of how I wanted to market. Social media had just started. My buying customer wasn't getting any younger, and I realized that I had to hit social early. And we had very big vendor involvement. We were a 5-person company when I started. We had the attention of Microsoft as, cloud started to come out. And I wanted to convince the large vendors that it's not how much you sell. You need someone that could implement it, follow up with training and all those kind of things. So we really
execution is what it's all about, right?
Thing. And, the customer's always right. And I realized that we can expand and verticalize. And giving back to the community was probably the biggest thing. We've done beach cleanups. We did a turtle hatch release.
Love it.
Got super involved in our chamber. So when we talk about our marketing events, I'm involved in multiple chambers. We bring it to them. They bring the members in place. We do a few of our own pieces. We had an AI summit a few weeks ago at the Florida Panthers Arena, the Amerant Bank Arena. We had 100+ people inside this arena, and my logo's floating around the whole place. It was just an amazing kind of thing. So giving back, and we do focus on a few of our not-for-profits and even our vendors. A lot of the vendors that we integrate with, they have their own, not-for-profits. So we do a lot of work with Acronis. They're Acronis Foundation. We helped build a school in it was Venezuela, and
Wow.
it was like to them it looked like in their social media that I donated millions of dollars, and we work with another company called Pax8. They have a foundation. So we try to look for companies that give back just like we want to give back.
That's amazing. No, it's incredible. And I think so many lessons there for business owners of what you're doing and how you grew your business. I'm curious how many employees you are, like how many team members you have now, and just some advice. And even for myself as an entrepreneur, I've been in business for a long time, but I've always felt like that's a challenge, like pain point for all businesses and entrepreneurs is just building teams. And I'd love to pick your brain about it.
I think service is always important. No matter what, we're always selling, and that service is important to us. So we're 23 employees now. We
Congrats. That's amazing.
a chunk of them are tech that's there. We have a great sales team. I do have to give a shout out to Glenn Benjamin and my team.
Glenn's amazing. We love him.
So let me, I'm glad you mentioned Glenn, because I was going to mention Glenn Benjamin works for Michael, and Michael is very gracious in his time, even though he is a full-time employee. Michael's very gracious and let him being very active in many organizations, including South Florida Tech Hub. So much so last year, excuse me, at the Golden Palms Award, South Florida Tech Hub gave Glenn an award, I think, for community partner, an individual, because he's so active. So thank you for that.
You
Yeah,
guys
and-
had the tough time of hiding it from him because
Correct.
he was so involved
he
in
was-
planning that.
He was on the committee
Yes,
planning the event.
I know. I was
So-
on all the Zooms
Yes,
with him.
there you go,
Yes.
My
exactly.
daughter was there. So for us, about 6 years ago, we decided that, I always hated being a sales guy. And we turned Glenn and a few of our other people into community relations. So Glenn is out there in the community, picking and choosing the organizations that he throws 200% into. And we started that also with our other sales team. Get involved. I think people do business with people that they know, that they like. And we're out there in all these chambers on various committees, councils. Like I said, the coolest thing we started to get involved with is these beach cleanups. We partnered up with a group called the Octopus Foundation. So when we do a beach cleanup, it's not just come and clean the beach. It starts off with a little beach yoga. It's then some beach exercise.
Incredible. I
give 'em-
love that. It says so much about the corporate culture.
It is so cool. And then it's a little education. When we did the Turtle Hatch release last year, there were grown men and women in tears watching these little turtles out there, but it's all about education, giving back. And we feel like we have to educate people, so, the blue economy down here is a really big focus
Yeah.
to see that.
So I'm going to shift gears a little as well. So Michael, again, thank you for being a guest. You've been a great guest, and I knew you would be. I'm sure people are going to want to follow up. They can connect with you on LinkedIn. Why don't you go ahead and
And
spell?
Owwll.
Well, I'm getting to Al. Go ahead and spell out the URL of your website so people can find you. And then we talked a little about making yourself available on Owwll. Are you going to have office hours, that kind of thing?
I'm going to work out office hours because I think
Okay.
the Owwll app is amazing.
Okay.
But you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm always on. I'm always posting educational type things. If you choose to connect with me, you will not get spammed and go through all those things that are out there. And it's laninfotech.com. So that's LAN as in Nancy, infotech.com.
Thank you for that. Speaking of community involvement, I want to mention one thing. South Florida Tech Hub recently published the Innovate book, focused on all of South Florida, since we're a regional organization. And I'm happy to mention again that Land Infotech is in the book. It's a great two-page spread. So I wanted to thank you again and congratulate y'all being included in the book.
Talk about a gorgeous coffee table book, and congratulations to your company too for being featured.
Thank you.
It's
Oh, it was
amazing.
Great. It was a great opportunity. I do also want to quickly plug. We do have. I am having my first book come out on the April 5th.
I was going to say you have to write a book with your story, your backstory, like everything you're doing. I was actually going to mention that. That's exciting.
That's good. We are in a group. I have a large chapter in a book called The Silent Battlefield, all about cyber, but I have the pleasure of doing the AI in cyber chapter. So I think you're right. It's one of those pieces to kind of give back, and it's always kind of fun. On Amazon, you can look me up, Michael Goldstein.
What's the going? And if you mention this, I'm sorry I didn't get it. The title of the book?
The Silent Battlefield.
Oh, that is the title. Okay, and will be available on Amazon.
Will be available on
Okay.
Amazon, pre-release now, and then full publication on April 5th.
We'll have to put that in the chat after the event, right after the podcast. We'll add it to the chat, the link. So I'm going to check it out.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
So let me kind of add something to what you said, and I thought this was very unique in what you just said. Maybe it wasn't obvious. So First of all, a lot of for-profit organizations don't necessarily focus on the not-for-profit space, so kudos for that. But a lot of nonprofits, as you mentioned, are eligible for grants, but struggle because of the time and effort. And when Glenn told me that, well, no, we help organizations actually fill out the grant form, I said, that is brilliant. So kudos for thinking of that, because as Cindy mentioned, that's a significant amount of time and effort for a nonprofit to complete the grant. So I thought that was great. Kudos.
I will say that, no paperwork necessary. If you're a true 501(c) that is there, Microsoft grants you X number of one of their higher-end business premium licenses. So if you're a not-for-profit listening to this, reach out to me. If you're paying for something, we help analyze the 365 tenant and make sure that you get what you're entitled to. That's free, zero cost.
I love it.
And this is Michael's profile on Owwll. And he will be having office hours later and going live periodically. One thing you kind of mentioned, and we talked a little before, that AI is obviously a hot topic for other businesses using, but you alluded to this a little. Talk a little about how you're actually leveraging AI to run your business internally within Land Infotech. I thought that was interesting.
So we get many requests that are, simple type requests. I forgot my password. Oh, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. we have a new employee coming on, so onboarding. So we're evaluating a couple of different technologies that could interact with our customers and just automatically create a ticket. Some of the things that we're having right now is that clients call, a rainy South Florida Monday morning, right? Outages, those type of things. So we want to give people the different ways to get in touch with us and just have some basic chat. And it could be that, hey, I need to speak to, Michael. Do you want to open a ticket? Yes. What's your problem? And maybe give them some FAQs or let them go through that. We're trying to automate our onboarding process so that a customer could just fill out a form online, pick and choose what their normal configuration is. And with a couple of clicks, those licenses are provisioned. It automatically hits our purchasing agent of those type of things. So we're utilizing that. And of course, on the marketing side, we're living inside of Copilot 365. I don't create PowerPoints anymore. I work with Copilot to go out there. And, I'll get a large file. I'll right click on it in Copilot. It'll digest it for me in a summary. I'll take that summary, put it into Word, clean it up a little, and then I'll save that file. I'll go into PowerPoint and I'll say, hey, create this PowerPoint presentation for me. So I have the good draft of things to go out there, and we're showing this to the customers. And, for us and our marketing team, it's just a really easy way of cleaning things up, get to the point, because we all get those large documents or the large email chain where I'll probably have 50 emails when I get off of this, and one of them might be just 20 back and forth. Right click, summarize. So we're using it internally.
Some of the use case, like I forgot my password, every single company has that request numerous times every day. So that's a great use case of using AI. So it's good to hear that you're using it internally as well. Can you offer that for your that service for your customers, to build an agent for them to do that?
We can. And that's one of the things, listen, everyone draws the line in the sand. Microsoft's big piece is an agent, meaning that somebody could interact with this and be able to go out. We could have a large SharePoint site, create an agent, and instead of you searching for that file, you can interact with the built-in bot to be able to find the files that you're looking for versus hunting and pecking. So fully available out there. It's important that people have a plan and look to consult with somebody, because like I think I said earlier, everyone's definition of AI or what they want to use is totally different. And everyone does. I don't want to say that they have a custom solution. They utilize the same things, but something specific to their business.
Right. We're going to, as I mentioned before, we're going to try. So again, thank you, Michael. You've been a great guest. We're going to leverage the power of Owwll and try to connect with someone live. We are live. No, nothing up my sleeves.
John Morgan, one of my faves. Hi, John.
Oh.
Hopefully he'll answer.
I saw that John was very active on Owwll, and I think he'd be a great person to connect. If not, we'll try someone else. We are doing this live. There is a lot of technology that's going on behind the scenes, including in the app, so sometimes it does not connect.
And of course, that simple piece of people just being an answer, ready to answer.
Yes. You want to wait? Okay. John, where are you? So your business, again, thank you for being on. You're great. I understand your organization is growing, and as any good growing organization, there might be a need for additional staff. Are you currently looking for anyone, or if someone maybe not today, but in the near future might need a role, what's a good way to reach out to you?
So definitely off the website that's there.
Okay.
Connect with me, send me a LinkedIn message. We're always looking for techs. We're always across the board. We're always looking for sales and marketing people. We are running a few internship programs. One of my good relationships is I'm on the board of directors for Career Source Broward. So we're always
a Tech Hub member.
and we're always,
Michael
encouraging people.
Corbett.
I don't know. I didn't realize you had an interest in internships. Ashton Adler on my team focuses on tech talent and internships. I'll mention that to her.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, John's here. Hi, John.
John Morgan.
Hi.
I said you're one of my faves. Good to see you.
John,
Hear you.
I'm required
Hey,
by.
good to hear you too.
I'm required by.
So what's going on? Is it Tech Tuesday already?
It's
Yeah.
Tech Tuesday.
I'm required by the Federal Communication Commission to make sure you're aware we're broadcasting your voice throughout the free world. Do you consent, agree to that in perpetuity?
Absolutely. Anytime with you all.
Thank you, John. I saw where you recently officially became, well, let me back up. John, introduce yourself. Tell us a little who you are and what you do. Sorry about that.
So yeah, my name is John Morgan. I'm entrepreneur, I guess. I've been a restaurant owner. I've been a financial advisor. I've been doing consulting and business development and financial services space in fintech for a few years now. And 6 months ago, I started the Jammin' and Planning podcast, where I am now fully exploring my creative side and loving every minute of it.
So tell us a little of what that is. And I know you have this is a little kind of random and tangential, but we have a lot of Tech Hub members that are interested in music. We had Jeb Reynolds on previously. Kelly Boyle actually has written original songs and is a singer. And Kelly and Jeb are in the Cyberdelics, which is the Tech Hub house band. So tell us a little about your music interest.
Yeah, so I just attended Jeb's SoFlo Pro Jam a couple of days ago, and Kelly was there, and man, they killed it. So that was a blast. And they're actually, Jeb's band is playing for my upcoming event, April 9th, which is a Wednesday at St. Pat's. The details will be released on Friday, but we're already telling people to mark their calendars for April 9th. 6 to 10, we're going to have the live band. We're going to do live band karaoke at the end. Lots of networking and just community. We're calling it community love, laughs, and live band karaoke.
Amazing. Mark your calendars, April 9th.
So
so that's going to be a blast. I hope you both can make it for sure. As far as my music,
I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
Yeah, no, as far as my music, it's always been in the blood. My parents actually met through Al Jarreau. My father was a musician. My mom used to hang around with Count Basie and a bunch of the really big time jazz folks back in the day before they were famous. And so I've actually been around great jazz music and music in the womb, literally. And so I always loved music, but I played trumpet for a short time in 8th grade. But when I went to high school, I didn't think it was cool. And I got into sports, and little did I know how wrong I was. But anyway, so I re-picked up music about 6 years ago. I started playing guitar with a friend of mine that's played guitar around me my whole life, and I just love it. I write a little bit. I'm not great, but that's the whole idea behind the Jammin' and Planning podcast movement, is that we don't care whether you're great or not. The love of music is the same, and we want to encourage people to explore outside passions, music being one of them, but could be anything. We also share recipes, and we have mountain climbers and artists and all kind of other folks in our Jamming and Planning podcast group. So the whole thing is just about, exploring my more creative side, really enjoying every bit of it, connecting with people that are in the arts and comedy, and starting to try to collaborate on some different ideas that are starting to come to mind. And it's been really fun.
Sounds interesting. Shifting gears a little, I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of the webcasts, but we have Michael Goldstein on. Why don't you quickly introduce yourself? Maybe you have a question for Michael.
Hey, John, Michael Goldstein. Hi, Michael. Here. I'm with Infotech, Tech Hub member, and we're an IT services company. We do managed services, do a lot of work with cybersecurity and AI.
Michael's very familiar with the current AI landscape. Maybe you have an AI related question.
Yeah. So the AI is humongous across the board, and highly being used in financial services, where I spend most of my time. And so, those that are in the know that, AI is going to really be a game changer for so many businesses that kind of are able to figure out how to use it and save time and effort when they're writing things and putting stuff out. So I'm a big believer that it's going to be very helpful, but I also believe that nothing can replace the human touch, and so I think a combination of the two is great. Obviously, cybersecurity is hugely important, but I don't know. I feel like, frankly, that that boat has sailed. Our data is out there. There's been so many humongous breaches, and certainly there's going to be more to come. And so I don't know, I think it's kind of one of those be careful what you ask for moments again, where it all feels and sounds great as things are going well with the internet and keeping yourself secure, but the reality is at some point, somewhere, sometime, I think it always ends up blowing up in your face to some extent.
I think you definitely you have a point there, but I always kind of think you said that key thing. You got to protect yourself.
Right.
You got to look out for this. There's always new data coming in place there, but you're right. I think that every time we turn around, there's something else that comes up, and it becomes difficult. But companies definitely have to put that wall up. They have to start early. I will say I have a 5-year-old grandson that just started, kindergarten in public school, and all of his stuff is online. He came over and he was like, "Pops, let me show you. I can log into the computer. Let me show you my password." And my first thought was, "Don't show anyone your password."
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, "I can trust you, Pops." Right.
But of course, my son said to me, "Did you tell him he can't
If
share
I
his
can't
password?"
trust you, who can I trust?
But that was my first instinct.
Of course.
Because I think we have that next generation that'll come up and they're too click happy on that. But you're right. Our data's out there, but it's the new data. It's stuff that we go, and it's just a royal pain. There's always been a bad guy out there throughout tech history.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think that you're absolutely right. You do have to protect yourself, especially running a business, and clients are assuming and hoping that you are, taking care of that data and not getting exposed to the bad people. But I don't know. I guess I'm just jaded with all the breaches that have happened. I'm waiting for the day I find that I've got 8 credit cards in Singapore or something, and
4 children someplace pulling out there, a couple of loans.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm going to be like, "What happened to LifeLock? It was supposed to protect me." I don't know. I just it's crazy times for sure across the board, and cybersecurity is definitely top of the list and top of mind for companies these days. So I'm happy to hear that you're out there trying to help folks protect us. And so tell me a little bit more. So what differentiates what you're doing versus maybe other companies?
You know what? We're all about service. So in reality, you're right. You mentioned that you were in the restaurant business, and I don't mean it in a bad way. Dime a dozen of restaurants that are out there, and what separates us, just like might have separated your restaurant, is the separate recipe that we use, the customer service, and just the overall reputation. We bring, I bring probably, I hate to say it, 35 plus years of
No
IT
way.
experience out there.
Happy to say it. Happy to say it for your customers,
good.
right?
And then for us, it's that white glove service and the honesty. We're very transparent, and I always say to the customers, I'm not a yes man. If you're doing the wrong thing, I'm going to tell you. You can get another opinion, but we're going to tell you that it's our opinion because I have these 300 other customers in various sizes. So I think that's the important thing. And a lot of people want to see that, yes, we're involved with organizations like Tech Hub. We're, for the cyber side of it, we're InfraGuard members. We get briefings all the time on that. So anything that I'm a reseller of, we want to be the best that we can be. You just don't want to check off the minimum, and you want to be sure that we're keeping you secure, and these are the reasons why.
Yeah.
John, we got about 30 seconds left if you want to wrap up.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. That customer service and being there when your customers need you and being honest and open and really goes a long way and is probably the only differentiator. We were just talking about that on my podcast. 90% of stuff is the same. That 10% is what you're trying to get to differentiate. And a lot of that has to do with the human touch.
All right, John, thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Bye. And you know what, just to piggyback on that point, I do think there's so many companies out there where there's not that relationship, and that is a huge differentiator, probably the most important differentiator. And then also what you're doing with the cause marketing, all the things that you're doing in the community. I mean, that says so much about your company and so much about the culture, and also to your team, right?
I always try to turn down the photo op. We do it because we want to do it.
Yeah.
And then we, follow things. We have worked for years with companies like Neighbors for Neighbors, Gilders Club, even in our Panthers relationship. Each year I donate, probably 70% of my tickets. We're going to Gilders Club tomorrow to donate some.
That's Gilda Radner.
Yep.
Okay. For those of you that don't remember Gilda, she was one of the first members of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Hello.
We have Devin Smith. Hello, Devin.
Devin.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm kicking.
You're live.
You're live and in person, sort of.
Well, I don't know, in person.
Not in person. We're in person. You're virtual.
Your voice is in person.
But we are broadcasting you through the internet. Are you okay with that?
Are you recording?
We are recording.
We are live. Is that okay?
No, that's not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's a brand new user. Okay, we just wanted to say hello, Devin, and welcome you.
You're on a podcast that we have every week. With the Owwll app. If you're not comfortable, it's not a problem.
Yeah,
we are recording and broadcasting you.
We just wanted to welcome you to the program and welcome you to the Owwll app. And you don't have to share anything, but we just wanted to say hello.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Are we blacked out?
Jason, we're ready for the next one.
I think so, Michael. This is the sad time of the podcast. Like many things in life, we have come and I try to be realistic here.
Of course.
We have come sort of to the end, but what I like to do is go around the horn. Cindy, if there's anything you want to mention or that we haven't talked about, any parting thoughts, I'll have you do it, and then Michael, and then I'll wrap up and close.
Well, just to piggyback on what I said about our event that we just had, the $1 Million Message, there's so much activity online on Instagram and LinkedIn right now because the ladies that spoke for Women's History Month were incredible. And if anybody wants any more information about the community, they can go to milliondollarweekend.club and be part of our community. Yeah. And I just wanted to say it was so great to spend time with Michael and learn more about his company. And I definitely want to talk to you more offline, and excited about what you do. And thank you for everything you do.
Through Tech Tuesdays, the Owwll app, we've fostered a new personal and business relationship.
Yes,
you saw
lots
it here
of
first.
them. Lots of them. Dennis and I are planning to do a tour at Printera also, which we met Justin here.
Yeah, I want to come to that one. Let me know.
Yeah.
we'll try to promote that on Tech Hub as well.
Yeah, 3D printing. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
So
Very cool.
yeah.
Cindy is referring to Justin D'Angelo, CEO of Printera, another Tech Hub member that is focused on 3D printing of concrete and housing. Very,
Yeah,
a very interesting topic. There is a replay of that out there on the internet if you want to watch that.
My son goes to school at the Pine School in Hope Sound, and they have benches and flower pots made by Printera right in front. I took a picture last time I was there, and I texted Justin and I said, "Full circle, right?"
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
You'll be hearing a lot more from that in Printera.
Yes.
So thank you.
And I'm sure we're going to cross paths a lot with Michael. So
Yes,
thank
I
you,
hope
Michael.
So. I hope so.
So, Michael, parting thoughts, anything you want to mention that we haven't talked about?
I do want to thank both of you. This has been an amazing experience.
You're welcome.
You know, we love Tech Hub. We love participating in there. I hope to be at the Thursday night event because I'm a tennis fan also.
Okay.
You guys have been putting on some amazing events. So, you know, Land Infotech is out there. Follow me on LinkedIn. The Silent Battlefield available on Amazon. Love to.
I'm going to grab a
promote that.
copy.
Definitely. And, you know, again, anybody that is looking for some AI consulting, not happy with your current managed service provider, we are out there to help. And of course, any not-for-profit, we really want to hear from you. We offer grants that are available through Microsoft. We make sure that you have cyber awareness training, which is big in Palm Beach County if you're going through not-for-profits first. So we're very well connected in that, and we really want to hear from you.
Thank you, Michael. A couple of things. I want to shout out to Steph again behind the cameras. Someday we'll get her on camera. She is live and in person behind the scenes. Thank
Steph
you.
is awesome.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Jason, for doing everything. I wanted to thank you again, Michael.
Thank you.
Been a great guest. I knew you would be. So thank you. Reach out to Michael, LinkedIn, the Owwll app. Look for his office hours. I'm available on the Owwll app as well. Thank you again for attending. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We'll be here next week. Thank you.
Thank you.